So, hey Chucklefucks, it's your boy, what's it called, Dark Raku, here with What If Issei, became a Hollow or Vasto lord, part 2. But yeah, this is part 2 of it, uh, part 6 of What If, Issei was had the powers of the Shadow and Dragon Monarch. Well, that will be whenever, but I don't know. I'm still very sick, I should mention. I cough a lot. Today I was just coughing non-stop and pissing me off. But not the point. Let me begin into this goddamn what if before I ramble on and blah blah blah. And I'm just trying not to do what I do on my first channel most of the time. That's ramble on. But yeah. But not the point. Let me begin. I should also mention that I'm on season 8 for the call High School DxD. Seriously, the art style really changed. I mean, it looks kind of, I don't know why, but it kind of reminds me way too much of, what's it called, Dragon Ball's art style changing, also similar to that. I don't know. But not the point. Let me go back into the goddamn what if and let me shut the fuck up. But yeah. But of course, other than that, let me begin. So, we go into Issei. Issei went to get food because after defeating what's it called, Xenia and also Irina, he went to kind of go get food. And of course, after getting food, this is where he kind of bumps into a girl, or mostly, yeah, a girl with bluish hair in a park. Because yes, he was at the park just kind of walking around. He did remember what's it called, mostly that one girl named Yumi, who betrayed him and all them other things. But yeah. Of course, where Issei doesn't really care that much. But of course, the person that he bumped into was a girl with a longish blue hair, like lightish blue hair, and of course, blue eyes. This is where, well, for some reason, she kind of reminded him of someone of his past. Mostly a young kid, but yeah. This is where, well, he then just shakes his head and says, nah, I don't think he will become a girl reincarnated. Nah, that's just complete bullshit. But yeah. This is where, well, this girl kind of, well, there was no one really in the park, and it was kind of getting dark. So, of course, this is where, well, what's it called? Issei had to dodge, mostly flash step, away from, what's it called, ice. From, what's it called? He was near the water, kind of, water little fountain thing, where he almost died and all that, blah, 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 if you can remember. He almost get hit by ice, and this is where, when he turns back around, he sees the girl. This is where the girl has this icy cold look to it, but then has this very, what's it called, mostly, evilish look also. Well, mostly, but of course, the word, well, she kind of has this look to her eyes, similar to Akano when she kind of goes crazy and, like, shocking herself with other people, but yeah, that's where she kind of has the same look. This is where, well, Issei says, what the fuck, what do you want? This is where the person says, oh, what I want is a new pet. And you look like a new, nice pet. This is where, well, she has this very, what's it called, grinnish look. And this is where, well, she says, so come on, little pet. Why don't you become my new pet? This is where Issei says, no thanks, lady. This is where, well, the person says, first of all, I'm not, well, mostly Issei says, no thanks, old lady. This is where she said, first of all, I'm not an old lady. I'm actually 17. This is where, well, Issei says, damn, you're actually... Oh, never mind. This is where, well, he dodges another ice attack that was actually thrown mostly from her hand. This is where she looks like she can create ice. And this is where Issei realized that she's not really a devil. This is where, well, Issei said, hey, do you know what a devil angel and a fallen angel are? This is where the person says, huh? Kinda. I had mostly devil pets before they died. Well, and you look really cute. I don't know if you're a devil, a fallen angel, or an angel. This is where, well, Issei says none. This is where Issei right now pulls out the Holofy mask. Well, not the Holofy mask. Mostly his eyes went green and says none. This is where, well, he appears right in front of her, right now having the sword right to her neck. This is where she whined her eyes. She couldn't even react fast enough. She made an ice sword, but of course she could not react fast enough. That's where Issei said, damn, you're still very amazing with ice and seeing that you're not an angel, fallen angel, or devil. I'm suggesting that you're just powerful at being a human. That's where she says, thank you. Well, you're very strong and also cute. So, you want to be more than just my pet? Like what? Like BF, GF. This is where, well, he says, no, no, thanks. This is where, well, he then lets go of the sword, mostly out of her neck, and just dissipates. This is where Issei says, well, bye. This is where Issei starts walking away. But yeah, this is where the girl, for some reason, just blushed. This is where she says, he's actually kind of cool. This is where, well, she decides to kind of try to follow him, kind of mostly stalking him, but yeah. This is where Issei already noticed her and says, you should really stop stalking me. I can notice you pretty easily. This is where she says, she gets out of, mostly from a pole, and says, well, you're pretty good. This is where Issei says, yeah, what school do you even go to? This is where, well, she said, I just got transferred here. So, of course, I don't know much of this place. This is where Issei says, so you must be going to the same school as me. Okay. Now I should mention one thing. She was kind of wearing this kind of like white dress, or like these white clothes, and of course having like this hat on her head. But yeah, or not even a hat. It looked like a general hat and all that. But of course, well, not general hat. Mostly a hat, a white hat. And this is where she says, so where are we going? This is where Issei says, well, I'm going home, and I don't actually want to bring someone so random to my house. So I suggest you kind of go away. This is where, well, she says, don't be so mean. This is where her face kind of becomes a little bit like a tinge of blue. And she looked away and says, well, I became in. This is where Issei says, oh, before you say anything else, so do you know where exactly the school is at? This is where she says, no. This is where, well, she kind of got cut off from that. And this is where, well, she still looking at Issei. Issei said, okay, the school's over there. Also, you should probably go home. This is where, well, she does kind of glance at him, and this is where she says, fine. This is where she disappears, and yeah. This is where Issei says, weird encounter, but whatever. This is where, well, Issei starts walking home until, well, he sees this kind of blondish hair girl kind of getting attacked by like 3 dudes. This is where the 3 dudes say, you know, a beautiful blonde locks girl like you should be coming with us. We can show you around if you're lost. This is where they're grinning at her. This is where this girl kind of has dullish blue eyes and seems to really not like them. This is where, well, she kind of has like the school uniform, but it's not even from, well, the one Issei knows. She kind of has this reddish like dress, or reddish skirt dress that's kind of small, and you can really see her legs and all that. Of course, this is where she's wearing kind of like black socks that's pretty long. But of course it doesn't reach all the way towards her like knee and all that. But of course like halfway. This is where, well, she's wearing shoes. But of course this is where she's wearing like the school kind of like outfit that's mostly for like boys and all that. Or not boys, like button-up shirts and all that. But of course her chest is kind of like sticking out a little bit, mostly showing off like a little bit of cleavage. But yeah, this is where, well, she says, oh, what are you gonna do with this girl and all that. She kind of said in a sweet tone to the guys. The guys right now seem to go into lust and say, oh, we're gonna show you around. Really? This is where, before they even say anything more, this is where one of them just got their head smashed to the ground, and the other 2 says, who are you? This is where they see a guy with green eyes and brownish hair. The person says, me? Well, I can be your fucking worst nightmare for, I don't know, assaulting someone. This is where, well, they say, huh, you and what people? We have 2 and you have only yourself. Issei says, I knew you were gonna do this. Hey. This is where, well, he was actually making a hollow mask actually appear on his face. Of course, the girl couldn't see, but of course, this is where, well, a little just mask appears, like a fragment, covering up his eye and becoming purple. This is where Issei makes a sword, mostly not a sword, a dagger, with the same kind of like, mostly the same material as like a mask Apollo. And this is where, well, he easily cut them down pretty fast. This is where he's skilled with a knife. This is where, well, he then lets go of the material and the mask breaks off. This is where he looks towards the girl and says, are you okay? This is where she kind of nods and says, thank you. So, who are you exactly? This is where she said. This is where Issei said, I should be asking you. You know, being out here in the night is pretty tough for a girl like you. Then again, I can sense some weird magic coming off from you. This is where she says, oh, is that so true? Well, I guess you're gonna have to know about despair. This is where her eyes becomes red, and this is where Issei is just walking away, and this is where, well, she said, hey, where are you going? This is where Issei said, I'm done with crazies. Jesus fucking Christ. This is where Issei said, I'm done with crazies. I already met one trying to say I should be her fucking pet, and then I meet another one saying that I should fucking know about despair. What kind of bullshit answers are these? Fuck this. This is where Issei is already walking away, putting his hand in his pocket and just walking the fuck away. This is where she say, hey, no, wait. This is where, well, Issei is already out of the alleyway, just walking home. This is where the girl is angry because, well, Issei kind of did that shit. This is where she kind of follows him. This is where Issei say, God, why is another stalker following me? This is where she said, because we haven't finished our battle. This is where Issei says, I don't wanna. This is where, well, she said, well, you don't have a choice. You're basically someone that has some hope inside you. Do you? This is where Issei says, no, I'm fucking depressed. What do you want? This is where she says, I can never find anyone who has hope in their hearts. This is where Issei says, I'm guessing that you want to make a lot of people feel despair. This is where she says, yes, how do you know? Well, because you're annoying me and I can feel despair of being annoyed. This is where she goes, This is where Issei says, other than that, I'm leaving. Bye. This is where, well, he just kind of waves her off and just disappears, mostly into a flash step, and that's all. This is where the girl is angry and says, you bastard. This is where, well, she said, just walked away and went home. But yeah, Issei did flash steps just because he didn't want to be bothered. Issei says, I really gotta get home. This is where he gets to his house, and of course Rias hugs him and says, where were you? I was so worried about you. That's where Issei says, I'm fine. You shouldn't be worried about me. I'm fine. That's where, well, she says, fine. I hope you're fine. Because I don't want you to kind of get the same idea as Kiba. What do you mean? Kiba, kind of left us to kind of find the holy swords and destroy them to get revenge. Issei sighs and says, that idiot. That's where Issei says, oh, okay. This is where, well, she kind of says, promise me you won't follow Kiba, okay? You won't do anything crazy, okay? This is where Issei says, of course, I'm not that crazy. This is where, well, Issei kind of waves her off, and this is where Issei says, besides, I'm going to the bathroom. This is where, well, Ryu says, I'm coming along. This is where Issei says, wait, what? This is where, well, she's already taken off her clothes, and this is where Issei says, wait. His face kind of becoming red and saying, wait. This is where, well, we go into a time skip, and of course the next day happens. But yeah, Issei wakes up to two beautiful girls next to him, not having clothes. But yeah, this is where, well, we go into, well, that happening, well, the next day. Mostly the morning and all that. This is where, well, Issei and the others are getting ready, and this is where, well, Ri is going to her first class while, well, Asui is going with Rias, but yeah, to mostly a class that's kind of near Rias, but yeah. This is where, well, Issei is just walking towards his class. This is where he kind of noticed two very depressed people. There's like these two females that are just walking very depressed right next to each other. They don't even know each other, but just walking depressed. This is where it's a girl with kind of bluish hair, of course wearing the uniform of the school and all that, while the other girl has blondish hair, well, longish blondish hair, but into two ponytails, and has these kind of like panda, well, not panda, mostly these kind of ribbons, but they kind of have like the panda face and all that. And of course, where they're signed just depressed, like having them just mostly looking down and depressed, having their arms also kind of waved down. And this is where Issei says, oh god, this isn't those two crazies. Should really stay away from them. Yeah, pretty much. This is where Issei just flash steps away, but yeah. This is where Issei is thinking in his head, who should I bring to kind of get, what's it called, Kiba back? So he won't do anything crazy. I don't want to involve many people. Ooh, I can bring Sanji along. That's what he thinks in his head. Yeah, I should bring Sanji along. And yeah, just Sanji. He's pretty good. He should be able to help me. Besides, if I tell anyone else in the group, they'll probably want to tell Rias about it. Yeah, I should tell Sanji. This is where, well, he's about to just go kind of talk to Sanji, but this is where, well, he gets to his class first, and this is where, well, he's kind of at the back, just sitting, and this is where, well, the teacher says, okay, welcome the two newest students to your class. This is where the guy says, I hope there's new, what's it called, new beautiful girls. This is where the girl says, I hope there's two beautiful guys. This is where, well, the two girls walks in, but of course they're depressed as fuck, and they says, hello. This is where the bluish hair girl says, hello, the name's Estef. And this is where she said it in such a depressed kind of tone, but this is where she glances up for a second, and because she bowed down and glances up, this is where, well, she kind of noticed the same kind of brown hair kind of boy. This is where, oh, kind of just looking somewhere, mostly outside the window, and just saying, yes, she'll bring Sanji along. Anyone else? No, I don't think so. This is where, well, the other girl says, the name's Junko. Junko, and this is where, well, she stopped for a second, and this is where she looks up and notices the same dude from yesterday. This is where both Estef and Junko says, that motherfucker. This is where, well, the girls and guys say, oh, the girl says, oh, hello there. This is where they kind of got ignored from mostly the two girls, and the guys appear saying, hey, beautifuls. This is where, well, they started kind of measuring their kind of, well, they started kind of measuring their plus size and blah, blah, blah. This is where, well, that guy with glasses and the guy that's kind of balls are friends with Issei and all that. Well, yeah, they're still friends with Issei and this one. This is where they say, damn, they got this. This is where, well, the two girls kind of smashed their same hand into Issei's desk. And this is where Issei gets startled and kind of looks up and mostly kind of looks to the, well, front of him and says, oh shit, not you two. This is where they glare at him with anger looks. This is where, well, the teacher says, if you want to sit there where Issei is, Issei, do you allow them to kind of just, well, one of them to sit there near the window? This is where Issei says, yeah, teach, I gotta go to the bathroom real fast. This is where Issei says, yeah, I gotta go to the bathroom. This is where the teacher says, fine, but hurry back. And where are you gonna sit? Near this one. He kind of picks like the last table that's near the, what's it called, door, but yeah. This is where the teacher says, whatever. This is where she kind of goes back. This is where Junko sits in, what's it called, his old place, while, well, Estef sits on the other side. Well, not other side, mostly in the, well, next table that's from Junko, but yeah. This is where, well, Issei says, gotta get out of here. This is where Issei kind of goes to a bathroom. He just takes almost a half entire class, comes back at the very end, and notices everyone just gone. Gets his backpack and all that. Well, mostly not his backpack, mostly his like bookcase or whatever it's called. And this is where he was about to leave until both of them closed the door in an instant, saying, where do you think you're going? Yes, sir, Issei says. Well, not dealing with you two crazies. Bye. This is where Issei jumps away from mostly the two doors because, yes, they were near the same door that Issei's like desk was at. They realized what Issei was trying to do and all that when he comes back. And this is where Issei kind of jumps away from that door and all that. And of course, this is where he knows the window's kind of open. This is where he says, you know, since you two are crazy, I'm out of here. This is where Issei just grabs the ledge of the window, jumps out of it, and kind of just jumps all the way down. Now, of course, he was in the second story, but of course he managed to catch the ledge of another kind of like window, and then just lands down. But yeah, this is where, well, he says, see ya. This is where he just did a piece towards both of them when they were looking out the window. They were just glaring at him with anger. This is where Issei says, bye. This is where Issei disappears, but yeah. This is where both of them sighs, and this is where they look at each other and say, so what happened to you? This is where, well, they kind of explain in what happened when they kind of meet Issei, but yeah. This is where the bluish hair girl says, so you basically got ignored from his battle. And this is where Junko says, yeah, pretty much. This is where, well, Junko says, and you basically almost got killed by him if he wasn't too damn relaxed and tell you to go away for being a creepy stalker. I mean, you did the same. And that was just because I won that battle. That mother... This is where, well, they're kind of complaining, but yeah. This is where, well, they mostly kind of walk past what's it called Asia and also the kind of brownish hair girl with glasses. But yeah, of course, where well they're kind of going towards where Issei and his friends will be at. It's where well they're kind of like talking and other things with Issei near that same place and all that. It's where Asia and her friend appear, mostly the brownish hair girl. I don't remember her name. I think it was Akana. Yeah, Akana. She says, or not Akana. Her name is Akia, and this is where well she is kind of just talking to the other guys are basically Issei's friend and another, and blah blah blah. This is where Sanji appears saying, "Hey, there, Asui. It seems that you and I have been destined to see each other again." This is where well Issei said, "I see." This is where Issei said, "Hey Sanji." Sanji says, "Well, I need to talk to you for well later on." This is where Sanji says, "Okay, what is it?" "Just later on, just meet me somewhere, okay?" This is where Sanji says, "Got it." This is where well that after that kind of happens, this is where we go into a time skip of mostly Sanji and Issei kind of talking. This is where well what's it called? This is where Kaneko kind of like follows both of them, and this is where she's hiding behind mostly both Sanji and Issei, and this is where when Sanji says, "No, that's crazy, I need it." This is where he can't like walk away and Kaneko's there, and this is where Issei says, "Kaneko?" This is where Kaneko says, "I'm coming along with you. And also, you're coming also, Sanji." This is where Sanji says, "Son of a bitch." But yeah. This is where, well, they're kind of going of like doing that whole plan, but yeah. This is where, oh, with that happening, this is where, well, they kind of go outside from the school to kind of find where Zeninia is at and also Irina, but yeah. That's where, well, Issa said, they're not going to just be in the main streets out here and blah, blah, blah. And this is where he predicts that shit. And this is where he says, fuck. This is where, well, Issei did bring them along to get food, but yeah. This is where, well, they're kind of eating all that. This is where Issei is also eating. This is where, well, Sanji and Kaneko are kind of shocked to even see Issei eating a lot. This is where Issei is just gulping down food also. This is where it's like, if I'm going to pay for some people's food, I'm at least going to eat also. This is where, well, Irina says, this is the best food. Thank you, Lord. This is where it will. Issei says, please don't praise because I will hurt my head. That's where Issei gulps down more food, but yeah. That's where, well, Hizina says, yes, thank you God for food. This is where Issei says, please stop praising because it's going to hurt my head. This is where, well, and if it hurts my head, I'm knocking both of you out. This is where, well, Issei's eating more food, but yeah, he's gulping down more food. This is where, well, after all of them being full, even though Issei ate some cake also. This is where, well, he asked Kaneko if she wanted cake. This is where Kaneko did kind of get the cake, but yeah. This is where Kaneko can see that Issei is kind of different from normal. Kaneko realized that Issei isn't that much of a pervert. He doesn't have this kind of aura of being a pervert that much. But of course, this is where, well, he has a more calm, collected aura around him. And less of this pervert aura. And also, his emotions shown to be a little bit different also. And so where, well, she doesn't understand fully and what happened to Issei and also Rias, but yeah. Rias seems to be hiding some things. Issei seems to be very calm and collected, but yeah. This is where Issei kind of talks to both Azenia and also Irina while having this like perverted things and all that. This is where he basically tells them the plan and other things. This is where, well, that happens. And of course, well, yes, Kiba's also there, I should mention, but yeah, I forgot about Kiba. This is where, well, the night kind of follows, but mostly, what's it called? Issei had to go on a contract call and all that with, what's it called? Someone, but yeah. Of course, I should mention that Issei did kind of meet, what's it called? Azario. And Azario did kind of show that he was a, I think it was that one where he shows he's the fallen angel. This is where, well, or not. I think so. What was that? Yeah, it was that one. This is where, well, or not Azazel. He didn't show he was a fallen angel. It's mostly Issei stop the call and says that he'll visit later. But yeah, Azazel says fine. That's where, well, Azazel does meet the blue, well, not the blue, the white dragon, but yeah. That's where, well, Issei kind of meets up with the others, and of course they go on to kind of find, well, what's it called, Freed and all that, for his, what's it called, just being there and being whatever. But yeah, this is where when they kind of find Freed and all that, and of course Kiba is fighting against Freed and using the sword, mostly Swordbringer and all that, to try to defeat Freed and all that. And Freed doesn't really know how to use the Excalibur. He's like, damn it, damn it, damn it! Why can't I cut through this shit? This is where the holy kind of like a priest, another priest appear, and it's the one that kind of got exiled from what's it called, the church. That's where he says, Freed, come on, just add energy towards it. This is where Freed does, and this is where they kind of manage to cut through, and this is where Freed and the priest were actually disappearing. But Issei noticed one thing. He noticed a short kind of figure being next to Freed and also the priest before them disappearing. But yeah, this is where Issei for some reason had this weird feeling around that kid or whoever he was. But yeah, this is where they were about to kind of go chase after, and of course Issei was about to use body flicker until mostly Rias appear and also Sona. And this is where they did kind of have their kind of spankings, but mostly Issei, he didn't like look too good. For some reason, when Rias was about to spank him, this is where Issei was in deep thought. And the only time she ever has seen Issei in deep thought is when he met Aizen. This is where, Issei was thinking, that figure, the aura, energy. No, it can't be. He died. And so where, Rias, instead of like hitting him and all that, she instead kind of embraced him and all that, saying, it's okay, Issei. What are you thinking about? That's where Issei says, oh, nothing at all. It's just, I was too slow in helping Kiba, and yeah. That's where, Rias says, you don't need to lie to me. That look was the same as when you kind of saw him. Issei said, I'm fine. This is where Kaneko and Akana kind of sees this. This is where, what's it called? Sona and Sanji and the others kind of saw this, but yeah. This is where, they're kind of confused, but yeah. This is where Rias and what's called Issei kind of went home and all that, or mostly back home and all that. This is where, that was happening, but of course, where, they kind of see two unexpected members just to be there. This is where, Issei noticed both of them and realized, shit. This is where Rias was confused, but noticed they were actually new students towards what they call the academy, mostly the high school, but yeah. This is where she kind of says, oh, it's you two. I have seen you. This is where, they kind of just wave at Rias and say, hello there, Rias-san. This is where, Rias says, hi. This is where, Issei says, oh, fuck, what the hell are they doing here? This is where Rias says, oh, these two, I kind of met them at the school, and I decided to kind of talk to them about, since they have very powerful magic. This is where Rias kind of whispered. This is where Issei kind of whispered back, you realize that these two kind of tried to attack me in the yesterday. This is where, Rias says, what? This is where, they both kind of smile evilly at what's it called, Issei, until they were about to attack what's it called, Issei, until, before anything else happens. This is where Asuna appears, Asui appears with this kind of like sexually, kind of clothes and all that, revealing kind of apron and all that. And this is where, both Rias and what's it called, the other two girls are confused, mostly, the bluish and blondish hair girl. And this is where, Asui says, hey, Issei, how do you like my, what's it called, outfit? This is where Issei says, Asui. This is where, Issei couldn't really control his spiritual pressure for a little bit, Ryosu. And of course, he kind of released it way too much. Of course, making everyone else's clothes kind of rip on accident. This is where Issei just passed out from blood nose. But yeah, this is where, mostly what's it called, Issei's mother says, oh no, what happened here? This is where, Rika says, nothing. Yeah, we're just here kind of getting aprons and other things. Yeah. This is where, the blondish hair girl is just shocked, and also what's it called, the bluish hair girl, because when they felt the reality, they were kind of shocked, but also clothes got ripped instantly. Because Issei kind of didn't meant to kind of like release it. He tried to suppress it, but he kind of suppressed it and accident kind of made it into like slashes. Of course, that wasn't on purpose. That was him just accidentally doing that. Because when he tries to suppress his Ryosu, that didn't work that much. But yeah. Of course, this is where, also what's it called, his ribbon stick kind of open. So yeah, that happened also. And so where, well, I know that was a car. Ryasu won't be able to cut anything. But Issei was thinking of like a sharp knife kind of stabbing him. So of course he kind of shaped Ryasu into kind of being like sharp, like wind exactly. Like if he was making wind blades. But yeah. But of course he made Ryasu blades on accident. Because yeah. Well, yeah, he was kind of thinking of him, what's it called, invisible Ryasu blades on accident because, yeah, he almost exploded with a bunch of Ryasu. And that would have been bad, but yeah. Because he, for some reason, had a sharp pain in his heart, but yeah. This is where, well, all four girls were kind of wearing aprons while Issei was still unconscious. This is where, well, Rios was kind of worried, but yeah. This is where the bluish hair girl and also the blondish hair girl realized they just going to have to cook because, well, they're wearing these aprons and yeah. This is where, well, Issei's mother was kind of thinking that, what's it called, the newish kind of females were actually more of Issei's kind of like having more children and all that in the near future. This is where, well, Issei kind of wakes up confusedly, but of course, this is where, well, he was drilling because, first of all, what the fuck? This is where, well, he wasn't trying to think of any perverted things, but it did come to his head, even though he didn't really want to, but yeah. But this is where, well, Issei kind of says, ugh, what just happened? This is where he looks up, and this is where he sees tons of food. This is where Rias and Asui kind of making food, and also the bluish hair and blondish hair girl was actually doing the same. This is where, well, Issei says, that's a lot of food. I'm hungry. This is where, well, Issei starts eating, but yeah. This is where Rias says, Issei. This is where Issei says, sorry about eating the food. It was just too good. This is where, well, Rias says, no, it's fine. This is where, well, when Issei got explained on what happened, all that, this is where Issei felt really bad and sorry and apologized towards what's it called, Estef and Junko. This is where they kind of just accepted the apology, but yeah, because they weren't expecting Issei to be able to do something like that. It's crazy, but yeah. This is where Issei said, well, I'm just going to head to the bathroom. This is where they say, can we come along? This is where all of them said. This is where Issei said, no. I'm going to my room, yeah. This is where Issei disappears and he, with a cough, flashed up, but yeah. This is where, well, Issei was kind of embarrassed in his face, but this is where, well, he kind of shakes it off and says, you know what? I'll probably feel better if I go to sleep. This is where, well, the red dragon kind of speaks to Issei saying, Issei. This is where Issei says, oh, it's you, red dragon. What do you want? This is where, well, the red dragon says, you know, you're a red dragon. You're not supposed to be feeling depressed. Mr. Issei says, how do you? And also, that figure. For some reason, I can sense its energy being kind of familiar to yours when you became into that form. When you used those masks somewhat. Mr. Issei says, yeah. I just don't understand. All the Espada should be kind of either dead or just not bother to kind of, well, attack. And also, since all the Espadas are dead, also the experiment should be dead since I'm the last one. I don't understand. This is where, well, Red Dragon, mostly what's it called, Drake says, I don't understand either. I know that seeing through your past memories, I've seen a lot of it. I didn't mean to barge, but there were so many. Depressing as fuck. Very, very depressing, I say, because when you kind of went into that form called what again? Vasto Lord. This is where, well, when you became into that form, I can see all your memories. But yeah, this is where, well, you say, damn it. Sorry about flooding your head with my memories. This is where the red dragon says, nah, you don't need to apologize. It's just kind of very sad. Damn. This is where, well, Issei says, yeah. This is where, well, Issei then thinks in his head, hey, Drake, when do you kind of show up in a, what's it called, user's mostly body? This is where, well, Drake says, what an odd question, why do you ask? This is where Issei said, because I had a very, I mean, like, nothing % of survival chance when I was becoming a hollow. Did you know that I was becoming a hollow, or did you not know? I didn't know you were actually a hollow. Actually, When I came to your body, I thought you were just a normal human. I didn't send any normal energy. Issei says, oh, so I'm guessing you came before I actually became 16 or probably 17. Yeah. Actually, I don't think even was a car. I don't think even... Well, there was never a user that would actually be able to awaken me when they were either 10 years old. So of course I probably did kind of came around when you were 16 or 17. So I didn't really know if you were actually a hollow or not. I see. I understand. Okay. Well, I'm going to have to figure out who was that kid. Well, this is where Issei says, well, not kid, mostly person or whatever. He had the same aura of a hollow, but yet he was still smaller. I should really stop thinking about this, just go to sleep. The next day happens, and this is where when Issei wakes up and kind of opened his eyes, he felt like his arms, or mostly his arms and also his chest was kind of exposed, but yeah. This is where when he looks down, he sees two arms. Mostly, what's it called, like this like palish whitish skin arm was kind of like mostly on his like chest and all that. Also, what's it called, this is where, well, she also, this other hand was kind of a little bit pale and all that. Mostly the other one was palish white, while the other one was pale and all that. This is where, well, when Issei kind of looks to the side, he kind of sees Rias and what's it called, well, mostly to the both sides he saw Rias and what's it called, Asui, but then he noticed what's it called, two different colors of hair. Mostly next to Asui or kind of like below there, below Asui was what's it called, someone with what's it called, like this palish, strawberry kind of blondish hair and all that. And also on the other side was like this bluish color that was near Rias, but yeah. That's where, well, Issei says, oh god, please don't tell me. This is where when Issei kind of wakes up and kind of does flash step out of what's it called? Well, not flash step, flash step out of what's it called, the bed and all that. He then noticed who was actually sleeping with him. 4 girls. And that's where Issei said, oh god, I should probably get ready. This is where Issei does get ready and all them other things. And this is where, well, Ria says, where are you going, Issei? That's where Issei said, huh? Oh, I'm getting ready for school. That's where Ria says, alright. Sorry about bringing what's it called, Estef and Junko in with us to sleep with you. Pretty much, they were not really wanting to go home. That's where Issei says, it's fine. It's, well, kind of still embarrassing. That's where, well, they were also kind of sleeping when it closed, and that's where Issei could have saw everything. That's where, well, he was looking somewhere else. That's what Ria says. But then again, you seem to be really, how should I say, flustered about them sleeping next to you. I thought they were crazies. That's where, well, Issei says, yeah, they're still crazies. I'm out of here. See ya. I'm gonna go downstairs, okay? That's what Issei does. Of course, this is where, well, he kind of goes downstairs, and this is where, well, Rias and the others are actually following what's it called, Issei, to school and all that. This is where Rias kind of meets with Sona, and of course, this is where, well, what's it called? Yeah. What was it? Wait. Kanako and also Akana was there, and yeah, they're kind of just visiting, or not visiting, must have seen Rias and of course like 2 other girls, but yeah, and also Asui. Of course, where, well, they kind of got mostly a message or from Sona that's called, or not, yeah, a message to Sona to kind of find where what's called Irina was at. So yeah, of course, where Issei says, Irina? This is where he kind of rushes towards her to see if she's okay. Of course, this is where, well, she seemed not to be that okay, and this is where, well, Issei does pick her up, and this is where, well, he does give it to Sona, and Sona does kind of give it to, what was her name, that one girl, mostly her queen, to bring it along to, well, mostly to heal her, but yeah. This is where, well, all of them meets up and sees what they call the fallen angel, who's the leader named Cocoa Bean. Now, I don't care in what his name is exactly. I'm calling him Cocoa Bean because I don't give a fuck. So yeah. This is where, well, Cocoa Bean says, I will destroy this society, blah, 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 to start a war. He goes rambling on with all this shit, but yeah. That's where Issei says, yeah, right, I'm gonna let you do something like that. This is where, when the others manage to get to school and all that, this is where Sona and her group is actually kind of like making a barrier around the school to stop this explosion and other things, but yeah. That's where, well, that is happening. Of course, there's Reddit, well, mostly there's Fright, or Fred, whatever, Fright, whatever, the other priest, and of course the same figure from last time. This is where, well, the fallen angels laughing, saying, we will definitely take over this place and start a war. We will finally do this and that, and whatever bullshit he was talking about, awesome. But yeah. This is where, well, everyone is there, and of course, this is where, well, of course, this is where Kiba shows up to fight against Friday, or whatever his name is. And of course, also, well, Azania also shows up to fight. Of course, this is where they're fighting. This is where Azania pulls out the sword Atlas and all that. And of course, this is where Kiba does manage to kind of combine both holy and unholy swords together to make a, like, what's it called, sword combined together. This is where, well, he managed to defeat, what's it called, Fredits and other things, but yeah. This is where, well, they also managed to stop that whole holy sword bullshit, whatever, the Excalibur for them to merge, but yeah. This is where, well, Issei is kind of like looking, well, mostly he was boosting up everyone, but yeah. This is where, well, Cocoa Bean says, you won't be able to stop me. Hey, priestess, bring out that kid. This is where someone shows up, and this kid has longish dark blue hair and dark blue eyes. This is where, well, the kid seems to be at least 12 years old. This is where, well, he seems to have a mask above him. This is where this mask has 2 horns, and of course it's kind of dark blue. This is where, well, Issei notices it, and of course this is where Issei says no. This is where Ria said, is that? Issei right now in rage. Nothing but rage and confusement. This is where, well, the kid says, I will defeat you. This is where he rushes toward Kiba and also what's it called, Azania. This is where both of them couldn't keep up with the speed, and of course this person pulls out a sword. Well, not a sword, mostly a spear. It was dark blue, managed to kind of defeat them pretty easily. This is where Kiba and Azania says, damn it. This is where they were about to attack, well, this kid. Until, well, Issei appears grabbing the spear before it even hits, what's it called, well, Kiba or what's it called, Azania. This is where both Kiba and Azania couldn't really attack Issei because Issei appeared out of nowhere. So Issei says, Shinkai. This is where, well, the person seems to kind of shake a little bit after the name. This is where, well, the priestess says, huh? What are you doing? Kill that damn devil! This is where, well, Cocoa Bean says, huh? Do you know that kid? This is where, well, Issei say, Shinkai. This is where he said with a different tone, but this time louder. This is where the mask seems to break a little bit, and it seems the kid knows that name and all that. This is where, well, the kind of priestess says, annihilation, kill him! This is where, well, Issei says, his name is Shinkai, now shut up. This is where Issei's eyes were darkish green. This is where he glares at the priest. This is where the priest says, huh? Shinkai, what a stupid name. This is where, well, Issei says, what did you say? This is where, well, he looks at the priest and just kind of glances at him once, and this is where he gets a memory of, like, Aizen. Aizen being on top of the priest, like, being actually Aizen, just standing right there in front of, well, the priest and all that. It's really, well, mostly this imagery or whatever that Issei is seeing, he's thinking that this Aizen is just smiling at what's it called, Issei, and say, ha, guess what? That brat died a long time ago. That's what Issei is thinking, that he's hearing the words. This is where Issei says sword. This is where he makes a sword and swings it at the priest. This priest's head just explodes in an instant. This is where Cocoa Bean kind of winding his eyes. How did that brat make a sword like that? It's similar to Shinkai's, but a little bit much stronger. This is where Issei says, Shinkai! Remember, who am I? This is where, well, Shinkai's mask started breaking. And this is where, well, he says, big brother Issei? This is where, well, Issei kind of smiles. But this is where Cocoa Bean says, I won't have any of that. This is where he sent a light spear straight towards Shinkai and even with the Issei. This is where Issei say, "No, Shinkai!" This is where Shinkai turns around. This is where he gets hit by a light spear. Big brother. This is where Issei says, Shinkai. This is where, well, Shinkai is right now down on the ground, coughing up blood and saying, "Big brother." This is where he smiles gently. But this is where Issei just sees this. This is where, well, Issei's eyes becomes more greenish color. This is where, well, Issei looks up and says, "You bastard. Aizen!" He screams out the name Aizen. This is where Cocoa Bean says, "Okay, first of all, that's not my name. It is Cocoa Bean." And this is where, well, Issei is already pissed. He already sees the imagery of Aizen just being on top of the sky, laughing at Issei. This is where Issei says, "You bastard!" This is where Issei transforms. A hole appears in the middle of his chest. This is where white, well, mostly his skin becomes white. This is where a mask, well, not, yeah, his skin becomes white. A mask appears, and all you hear in the background. This is where, well, he also has like 4 horns in total, and this is where his hair becomes longer. This is where he's now enraged. This is where Shinkai's body gets pushed back, but this is where Asui managed to catch it and thus try to heal Shinkai. This is where Ria says, "No, Issei!" This is where, well, Cocoa Bean says, "What the hell is it?" This is where Issei appears right in front of the leader, mostly this angel leader. This is where fallen angel leader punches him in the face, sending his ass right now into multiple trees. This is where Issei says, "I'm going to murder you, Aizen, Aizen, Aizen. I'm going to rip you apart." This is where, well, Shinkai is right now being healed by Asui, and this is where, well, Shinkai says, "Oh, their brother." This is where, well, Asui is kind of shocked to even know that Issei had a little brother. This is where, well, mostly Estep and also Junko were kind of fighting during the whole thing. Of course, this is where, well, Junko is kind of hurt a little bit because she didn't have enough power to actually do anything, while Estep had to make an ice barrier around them. This is where, well, Ria says, "Issei, no!" This is where, well, Issei is right now in Vasto Lord. This is where he is right now beating the shit out of Cocoa Bean like so many times in the face. This is where Cocoa Bean tries to fly up and says, "Damn you, brat." This is where he sends a multiple like light spear, like this huge light spear at Issei. This is where, well, Issei right now in his head appears a giant blast. This is where Issei says, "Settle." This is where, well, he said in a dark tone. This is where, boom, a huge blast of settle sends straight towards the light spear. He sent a light spear that was pretty big, but the light spear just shatters. This is where Cocoa Bean says, "Are you shitting me?" He smashes into the barrier. Of course, this is where, well, Cocoa Bean is saying, "Damn, what the hell is this thing?" This is where he's still up in the sky, even though he managed to dodge a little bit, like some of his wings got easily destroyed. But this is where Issei appears, right now punching Cocoa Bean. Cocoa Bean smashes down to the ground. This is where he says, "Damn it, I won't die, not to the likes of you." This is where, well, Issei is right now up in the air, and this is where, well, another scream appears. Yourself. But of course, this is where, well, Issei is screaming up in the air. This is where everyone else is confused. Of course, this is where Akano, they're trying to fight against the leader like everyone in the original canon. But of course, this is where, well, they're seeing this battle. And this is where they're confused. This is where Ria says, "Issei, no." This is where Issei's kind of like suppression seals are kind of floating around. They're not actually like suppressing his power because he kind of unleashed it. Well, not really entirely, but yeah, they're still a little bit on him. But this is where, well, he's screaming and roaring in anger. This is where, well, the barrier around the school is actually kind of breaking. This is where they're confused. Mostly Sona and the others are kind of confused because of the power raging from inside. This is where, well, Sanji says, "I can't keep this up. Holy shit, what is happening in there?" This is where, well, Sona says, "Damn it. Wait, damn it, what is happening in there?" This is where, well, Cocoa Bean says, "What are you?" This This is where Ria says, no, Issei. This is where, oh, what's it called? Shinkai says, Issei. No. This is where, well, Issei says, I'm going to kill you, Aizen. Once and for all. This is where, well, Cocoa Bean says, again, the name's not Aizen. This is where, well, Issei kicked him in the face, launching him into the school building, crashing him through there. And this is where Issei doesn't care. His power is right now raging in just so much tidal, like a tidal wave of rage is appearing. This is where, well, Issei says, Settle. This is where he sent another blast of Settle straight towards the school and exploded it. This is where everyone is shocked with the power. This is where Xenia never imagined this power. She has fought against Issei in his sword technique and also going into that one like mask form. But of course, if this is the true power of what he was holding back, then she realized she would have died. This is where, well, Issei, this is where not Issei, mostly Ria says, Issei, stop. This is where Akano kind of asks Rias and what he's in right now. Stop lying to us. This is where Shinkai gets up and says, Vasto, Lord. A form that's right now forbidden for anyone who is experiment on. This is where, well, Kiba heard the word experiment. This is where, well, Kiba says, what do you mean? This is where, well, the kid kind of gets up and this is where he says, my big brother needs me. This is where he tries to activate the holofy mask on his face, but this is where he can't. It's barely even able to grow on his face. Like the teeth appear, but this is where like half version. This is where he said, Shinkai said, no, I need more power. Damn it. I'm too weak. Out of all people, he says right now angry and rage. I can't do anything. Damn it. I'm so weak. Of course, all the other experiments would have failed. And he's the only one who succeeded in power. This is where Kiba kind of grabs the kid in this, or the kid says, ow. And this is where Asui says, stop. This is where, well, Kiba says, what do you mean, experiment on? This is where Shinkai says, me and Issei-san, this is where he says, Issei-san, or an experiment on. This is where Rias kind of like slaps as a call, wants to keep his hand away and say, stop it. He's a kid. This is where Kiba says, what do you mean? Rias, don't you hear him? This is where Rias kind of what's it called? Grab her fist. Mostly she kind of clenches it. And she says, I know. Issei already told me about his past life. This is where Kiba says, what do you mean? If there's others just like me, then why didn't you? He was an experiment on by the Holy Church. That's where Rias screams at Kiba. Kiba says, what? This is where, well, Shinkai says, what is a church? This is where, well, Ria says, they weren't experiment on by the church. No, they weren't. They weren't even knowing what a church was. Issei was 15, and Shinkai, he was 10 at that time. I know Shinkai's probably 2 years older when he was 10. So he's 12 now. But I don't wanna break that promise from what's it called, Issei. This is where, well, Kiba says, what do you talk about? This is where, well, Ria says, he wasn't experimented on by the church. No, he was experimented on by someone evil. I met him before. This is where Rias can remember Aizen, and Aizen glanced at her and saying, so you really are his newest friend. This is where, well, Rias kind of shivers at the thought of seeing Aizen again. This is where, well, we go into the Soul Society, and this is where the Soul Society, somewhere deep below the Soul Society, a man opened his eye, one of them, and looks up and says, he says, oh, Issei-kun, I see that you're finally meeting the other. Oh, if you thought I killed him, then you're wrong. I wanted to know if your power will explode again, and your reality seems to be building up. This is where, well, someone senses the power, and this is where, well, someone with orange hair says, is that Issei? This is where he rushes towards, well, what's it called? mostly what's it called? Not Issei. Mostly towards the captains, and this where some of the other captains can feel the Ryasu. This where mostly the power of Issei going Vasto Lord. This is where Issei starts kind of changing from his Vasto Lord. This is where he starts kind of having more markings around his body, but these times are not just normal black markings. They're actually changing to a color. This is where Issei is getting angrier and angrier, fighting his Cocoa Bean. Cocoa Bean is right now on the verge of death. He wasn't expecting to be fighting such a ruthless monster. No, he's not a demon. He's not a devil, but a monster. This is where, Issei was about to do another mostly not Vasto, settle towards what's it called, Cocoa Bean, until, Ria say, "Stop it, Issei!" This is where Shinkai says, this is where, Shinkai say, "Issei!" This is where, when Issei looks down and looks, mostly to the dome, he sees Shinkai and what's it called, Rias. Shinkai was crying, this is where Rias was also crying. This is where, in his mind, this is where White was right now taking control of the scene. So, have you finally, this is where Issei says, "Giving up? Fuck you." That's where he punches what's it called, White in the face, launching him away from himself. That's where Issei says, "I'm not giving up, White. Like you did say, I gotta have the instinct to become the king and take control. So I am going to do that." This is where, we go outside of Issei. This is where Issei, he's right now still in Vasto Lord, but he's not transforming any further. This is where he had horns, mostly not horns, mostly these thorns appearing on his shoulder. This is where, he then looks down at, what's it called, Cocoa Bean? Cocoa Bean says, "Heh. But are you gonna..." This is where Issei appears right now, stomping on Cocoa Bean. But this is where Issei says, "I'm not going to kill you. Instead, I'm gonna break all your arms and legs and shove my fist up your fucking face." Well, not up your face, mostly in your face, you bastard. This is where Issei kicks him out of the school and launching him towards mostly the cornfield. This is where Cocoa Bean's like, son of a... This is where, Issei gets out of the form in an instant, or mostly out of the form, is walking towards Cocoa Bean. And this is where Issei right now just goes into normal, what's it called, hollow mask. This is where Issei makes, what's it called, sword and says, "Instead, I'm gonna definitely kick your ass. I'm not using that power. Screw that." This is where he ties his, what's it called, ribbons around his body to make sure that they're still tight enough so, it didn't, explode where Ryasu. This is where, he was about to, kill Cocoa Bean until, someone appears from the sky. This is where blue light, and this is where, Valen appears. This is where Valen does kind of, knock the fuck out of, Cocoa Bean, and does, take him. This is where before destroying the magic circle and disappearing. This is where, he then noticed a red dragon, but of course the red dragon had this, weird mask on his face. This is where, Valen disappears, but yeah. This is where Issei felt tired. Of course, he gets out of his mask breaks before falling down the ground and passing out. But yeah. But of course, for right now, I'm going to leave it off here for part 2 of what if Issei became a Vasto Lord. Well, yeah, part 2. So goodbye, Chucklefucks. But right now, my throat is hurting right now a lot. I was coughing. But yeah, other than that, bye-bye.